The number is 252-228-5098. Let's keep going through with a couple of calls. People's Voice. Here are your cat calls.
Hi, what's up, Tony? What's up, Cody? What's up, all the Gregs and everybody else out there? Rich in the UK. Phoning in to say what a great off-season so far. The NFL does nothing better than sell hope, and the coaching hire and all of the people that they've picked up. Absolutely amazing. Can't believe it. Cool. Hope springs eternal. It's fantastic. Looking forward to the underwear Olympics this week. See what happens. I'm not really sure where we're at in the draft at the moment. Be interested to see the touring social media. I think there's quite a lot of support for Matt Corral to have a crack next season. I don't think we're going to get Bryce Young, so I don't know. CJ Stroud would probably be my favourite of those of the top four. But are they really going to be any better? I don't know. You guys are going to discuss it all and chop it up. But still listening in, still here, and looking forward to the coming up season. I'm sure I'll phone in again. But anyway, give us your thoughts on Matt Corral versus these guys. I know Cody's got some thoughts on it, as always, but I'm sure the rest of you have. Anyway, keep pounding, guys. Good to talk to you.
Keep pounding. Rich Kingston, we love you, brother. Appreciate your continued support after all these years, man. I mean, yeah, listen, I know that I'm bigger on Matt Corral than a lot of other people. I still want to see him get his chance. I believe if you look at his resume and his numbers and his stats and his completion percentage, if you put him on paper next to Richardson and Levis, I'm sorry, Matt Corral is a better prospect. More passing yards, less interceptions, more rushing yards, more rushing touchdowns. I mean, if you were just doing a blind comparison of those quarterbacks, then yeah, he would. Yeah, I think he would be better than both of them, and he would have a leg up on both of them. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Hendon Hooker, they probably have the gaudier numbers. Although, actually, Bryce Young this year, his numbers were very comparable to what Matt Corral did his final year at Ole Miss. So, listen, it's a hell of a conversation to have. Matt Corral has that incredible whip-like throwing motion. He can run really, really fast. He's probably quarterback 3 or 4 this year, and that's just because you have some guys that have a lot of physical upside that he probably doesn't have. He's not 235 pounds as much as we might like him to be. He's not 6'4", not short either. He's only 6'2". So I like Matt Corral. I'm also a realist. I believe that this new regime probably won't give him the chance that I want to see him get in the NFL. So the only thing that we can hope for at this point is that the coaching staff will give him an honest assessment and evaluation this year during training camp.
Cody, Cody, if you were ever right about anything, I hope you're right about this, because Matt Corral being the answer is the best possible scenario for Carolina. It really is. Just because we already have him.
How big his head will be?
Oh, I don't
imagine if Matt Corral turns out to be the example.
I hope so badly you're right.
Cody will float right out of that chair into he'll be like the up.
Oh, dude, no, and you won't be able to run from me on the podcast or on Twitter.
You'll be up in the sky like a magic man in a balloon. That head would be so big.
Yeah, man. I hope it happens, man. I'm pulling for. I love the underdog story, and to me, Matt Corral has the perfect underdog story. And all of Panther fan base has already written him off. Him
and Shi Smith are the next Delhomme and Steve Smith. Boom.
See,
I love it. I love it. Let's go to the next call.
Hey, it's White Chocolate Espresso. How y'all fellas doing tonight? I'm doing amazing.
Oh, look at this.
You know
guy.
why? Because I just got done watching Cocaine Bear.
Oh,
the most greatest, amazing movie ever made.
I love it.
Since a month ago.
Sharknado.
It's fucking awesome. Can you guess what happens? I can tell you. Spoiler, a bear does cocaine and murders a bunch of people. It's fucking amazing.
I'm in.
But I think there's deeper meaning to it, you know. There's subtext to it. It's about, you know, us as a country and our animal instincts.
Oh.
And how we can super those instincts with machinery. Or it's just about a bear doing cocaine and killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, that too.
But I got nothing about the Panthers. Nothing at all. I just want to talk about Cocaine Bear. It's a great movie.
Dude, it had like a crazy opening.
Best movie ever made in the last month or two. Better than Ant-Man. Fuck Ant-Man. Ant-Man Cocaine Bear. I didn't see anybody doing cocaine in Ant-Man, so Cocaine Bear. A+.
Cocaine Bear is a production, Greg, that should be seen as part of us. Like, this is a cultural creation ultimately by like what we want as the people in the internet. You know, it's just perfect. It's like, oh, wait, we're going to make a decent movie out of things that we would all joke about on the internet.
Also, it's Ray Liotta's last movie ever.
Exactly. Yeah. I was going to say, there's a lot of great things about this movie. I mean, it's Ray Liotta's last movie. It's based on a true story. It's dramatized, of course, for the actual movie. But
it's like barely based on true. Have you read the? It's a cool story.
True story based on that. That's the trick, is putting the words based on beforehand. So
do you know the story?
Yeah, I know the story. There's actually the Bears in Kentucky, in a mall in Kentucky. You can go see it. But it's
the other thing, can you tell the story
Banks.
real quick? Because he was can you tell the story real quick?
Yeah.
He was a former drug agent, the guy that was trying to smuggle all the cocaine in.
Yeah.
He was like a Georgia SBI agent or something. And then he was like, I got to get out of this plane. And he was like 2 more pounds than he needed.
I can't remember the exact amount. Yeah. He just tossed it out. The bear actually took it all, and like I said,
he died in someone's front yard. You know that part? Is that like what happened? Is he was like dumping this shipment out. He's a former police officer, a narcotic guy, and then the planes come, and he thinks he's worried. He's probably high off of the shit or whatever, and he starts dumping it out. But he jumps out with a parachute and tries to go. Who was that guy that robbed the bank that everybody always like Prison Break talks about it? The one guy that robbed the bank and jumped out in the airplane, or not, he didn't rob a bank, or he took the plane by hostage or whatever. It's a famous story. Anyway, the guy jumps out of this airplane trying to pull that mug.
DB Cooper.
Thank you. And he just weighed like 25 pounds more than the whole shit could handle. Like if he would have just gone one less key, and then someone found him dead in the front yard, and then this story is birthed.
Yeah, dude, we're so off topic, but if you ever want to go down a rabbit hole,
let's do it.
Dude, there have been like 5 different people who have come out and said that they were the real DB Cooper. And there's this one Netflix documentary that shows you each and every one of the people that is suspected. And like a lot of them have a good case for being DB Cooper. It's actually really fucking crazy.
Greg, have you jumped out of an airplane before?
Never. I want to, but never.
You do?
Fuck yeah, I definitely want to. Yeah. Oh man, it'd be so great.
Nah, like I mean, like I would if I had to. Like if I had 240 kilos of cocaine and I was worried about getting caught, I guess I would jump out of an airplane. But I'm just trying to take that airplane to Las Vegas and watch like the Panthers play the Raiders or something.
I hear you.
Let's go to the next call.
This is a little off topic.
Another one. Perfect timing.
I wish the Panthers would change their uniform, or at least wear black at home. Maybe the black helmet they wore that Thursday night. It was great. But I'm tired of wearing white. It just don't look good enough. And, you know, never had back-to-back winning seasons. New coach, relatively new owner, trying to get things right. I would just like to see them change their uniforms and maybe wear black at home if they don't want to change them. And maybe change the helmet to the black one or anything else. I don't really care. I'm just tired of the white mainly. I just don't think it looks intimidating enough for a home football team to be solid wide. Just my thoughts. Thank you.
They do talk about the heat early in the season being problematic and if you want to get an advantage over your opponent, you make them wear the dark color and you wear the light color. So I could see the first 3 or 4 games. The question is like, how much do you mix it up? The Panthers, you know what? I was slightly underwhelmed, Greg, with the black on black on black last year.
I kind of was too, man. It was the flat black helmets, I think, is what
right.
They
and I don't know.
Black.
I wanted it for so long. Like I had built the hype up in my head so much, and then it looked good, and we won. We won. I told you the helmet and the mismatch was the problem. That was the curse. But I always thought the mock-ups looked better.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I really liked it, and I would prefer that if we totally went to a black helmet all the time, I'd be okay with that. But I think the gloss black is where it needs to go. Like incorporate the gloss black and some like electric blue. With like Carolina
or do something to the face guard or something to make it pop a little bit more. It was cool, but I had built it up for so long as the internet had built it up, and then I was like, this is it. And we won. I told you that was the curse. Let's go to the next call.
What's up, C3? It's JJ.
What up, JJ?
I just wanted to call in. Hope you guys are having a good day. I had kind of a little question or a game, I guess, whatever. Which do you guys like? What part of the team do you guys think will exceed expectations next year? And which part of the team do you think might take a step back? In my opinion, I fear the offensive line might take a step back. And as a Panthers fan, you know, for that being like our one really good O-line season we've had in like the past decade, I pray to God that doesn't happen. But like at the same time, if we're keeping it real, if Christensen and Corbett, you know, if they don't return as like the same player, I wouldn't be surprised. Leg injuries for linemen are always terrible. And we still got to re-sign Bozeman. Like, why don't we have that finished yet? So I'm praying that the O-line can keep things together. But if we're being honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that took a step back, or even if Icky had a sophomore slump, you know. But he's the GOAT, so we don't care about that. And I think Derek Brown's gonna have a big time season this year. You know, I know the 3-4, everybody's looking at Brian Burns, but I feel like we're gonna need to rely on Derek Brown to be the main man up the middle a lot more often now, because the 3-4 is normally not good against the run. So we're going to need Derek Brown to take a step up in terms of playing that formation. And I think he's up for the task. You know, I really believe in Derek Brown. I always have. I wanted Isaiah Simmons at the draft, but I've always been cool with Derek Brown just because I feel like he's helped out so much stopping the run. So
he's been good in Carolina.
I feel like that's who's going to exceed expectations and who's going to maybe take a decline from last year. But tell me your thoughts on the situation. Another day of being a Panthers fan and not knowing who our quarterback's going to be. Take care.
JJ, appreciate the call, bro. I mean, I would say that's a pretty good assessment. I mean, knowing that Austin Corbett's coming off of an ACL tear, Brady Christensen had an ankle sprain, I believe. So, it's reasonable to assume that this offensive line could take a step backward. And it's a little bit deflating to say. You know, it's like last year for the first time, we finally saw this offensive line perform at a level.
Got to keep putting horses in the stable, baby.
Yeah, and no, that's a great point. Maybe in this year's draft, maybe it would be prudent to take another shot on a couple guard prospects a little bit later in the draft.
Or in the second. Fuck it. I wouldn't even be upset. I'd rather have a great guard than Terrace Marshall Jr.
Yeah, I mean, you're always rebuilding that offensive line and build that, like we were saying for years, we took back that saying from its original meaning. Build that wall meant build that wall in Carolina and build that offensive line. That's what we wanted to do. The one that I think could take an unexpected step forward, maybe the linebacker core, maybe Brandon Smith steps up in a big way. Maybe if we add someone in the draft like a Trenton Simpson, maybe that'll continue to make things a little bit better. Maybe if Jeremy Chin decides to go back to the linebacker position, I don't think that the linebacker core for the Carolina Panthers, I don't think it needs too much work to be one of the, a really good, fast, and efficient linebacker core for the Panthers, especially compared to what we've had in the past.
I would rather for the Panthers to draft a top fleet offensive lineman than to miss on a quarterback at 9 or trade up and all of that jazz. And could there be a better time to watch Cocaine Bear than on that giant big screen at Bank of America with Robbie Anderson? And what's that bear doing? And you
get a bear doing
cocaine. I think that would be, if I had a dream tonight, I hope that's what I dream. Me watching Cocaine Bear at Bank of America with Robbie Anderson and him saying, what's that bear doing? Cocaine.
That would be pretty cool, man.
Gosh, that would be ridiculous. And let's go. By the way, I hope he's chosen that moment because that's his new name.
Hey, he's definitely chosen.
Let's go. Actually, Dan said make that meme. It would be a great. Please, we got to do that, Greg. Actually, that is the most important thing. Is what's that bear doing? Cocaine Bear on the
and put it on the Jumbotron.
Oh my God, we got to do that. Let's go to the next call.
I say no to Derek Carr, period. It's just not a situation that would work out for either party. As far as having a veteran on the team, I would say that it's absolutely necessary, except for one thing that could change that, and that's the fact that we have the quarterback coach, can't think of his name right now, Josh McCown. He could be like the veteran that helps him out, even though he's a coach. Otherwise, I would say you do have to have a veteran with the rookie quarterback. And I've looked at the tape on the quarterbacks, and I can tell you my opinion, and I'm not an expert, but Bryce Young's by far the best. He's so small. It's a little bit scary. C.J. Stroud is the one to me that's closest to a can't miss as far as at least being an average quarterback and not a bust. He could be better than that. Levis has all the intangibles. Quick release. Tough player. Good player. Erratic at times. But he wasn't on a very good team. And Anthony Richardson, if you watch any expert break down his film, you'll see that Florida's offense, in most people's opinions, was kind of poorly ran. They had multiple receivers in the same area so many times. I mean, how muddy does that make the picture for the quarterback? And he was only in his first year. So I'm not saying he's not raw. He is. But I wouldn't look at his completion percentage and say that's what he's going to be for sure. He's only like 21 years old. And if the offense was ran in a way that muddied the picture for the quarterback, I would say whatever his 50-some%, he would be way better than that in the NFL. That's just my opinion. And I'll be honest, I would be, if we get any one of those four, it wouldn't matter to me which one. I can see a reason to be happy. Love the show, guys. Thanks.
Good way to look at it.
I love it. The number is 252-228-5098. Let's go to the next call. Short one, still about the uniforms.
One more thing on the uniforms. I hate to harp on it, but I like the blue too. I forgot to mention that in the my first call when I called about the uniforms. But my point is, when the visiting team comes in and you're wearing white, I mean, we're not even wearing our team colors until late in the season. That's ridiculous to me. We should at least wear Panther blue or Panther black or something. The white don't even say Carolina Panthers. That's all. I just had to get that off my chest. I'm sick of white.
I hear you, man. And I've been saying for a long time, you know, a lot of people get too connected to, oh, man, the Panthers have that 90s nostalgic throwback look. And now I'm not shitting on our outfits, on our jerseys by any means. But other teams that have a longer history than us, have been able to effectively navigate a really nice uniform redesign. And I feel like the Carolina Panthers could easily use an update to their jerseys and to their trousers, man. I think that it's been past time for an update to the look of the Carolina Panthers. So I think that would be cool. I don't know how likely it is. Another thing that you have to worry about is that if you do redesign your outfits and your uniforms, which I don't even think that's what the caller is doing. He just wants to see more black, which I think most of us would agree we want to see that too.
Yeah, totally.
But if you do try and do a different look, you also run the risk of putting out something that your fans can't stand. You know, that they don't like the new design. They look terrible. So I don't know. You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't. But I agree. I would like to see them do something different with our colors. I mean, the same colors, but in a new design, rather.
You know, I'll be honest, I didn't like the black bottoms and white tops a lot to begin with, but the more I've seen them, the more they've grown on me. I don't like the all-white uniforms myself either, but the black bottoms and white tops have kind of grown on me over the last couple of years.
Okay.
I don't know why.
All right, let's go to the next call.
Hey, what's up, C3? I think that a quarterback will fall to us, but I think it's going to be like Levis and or Richardson is what it's looking like right now. I kind of think Richardson at this moment, I think he's not that bad. Well,
is that it?
That's it.
All right. All right. Well, let's go to the next call.
Oh, you know, that was Algernon. He did
want to
go past his first call.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yep.
It's the growl that makes him howl, a.k.a. Joey the Blind Panther. I got something to say. I had this hot take stewing. I had it stewing, guys. If you're the Ravens, Lamar Jackson is just as good as Derek Carr. You know why? Because John Harbaugh is a really good coach, and at least Derek Carr is going to be there in the postseason when you need him the most, and he's not going to be injured or a healthy scratch. Lamar Jackson. It doesn't matter how fast they are. Oh, and remember when I used to say Lamar Jackson plays football like Cam Newton? Oh, yeah, well, now everybody else is saying it. Like, my blind ass saw it before the rest of the world did. So, I wonder what they got to say about that. And I heard this thing about Carson Wentz coming to the Panthers. And Frank Reich already tried it with that bum like 2 years ago when he was in Indianapolis. Now, I don't know that he's going to give Carson Wentz another chance. But if we're that desperate for a quarterback, I will quit my job and suit up and play quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. And I'm sure I'd be better than Carson Wentz. But I heard that, and I looked at my other friend that was like across the table from me, and I said, Kiki, I'm gonna be a Ravens fan if that shit happens. Because she is a Ravens fan, and she's like, uh-oh. And I'm like, yeah, uh-oh is right. Yeah, no Carson Wentz. Dude's a bum. I wish they would throw batteries at his ass. and not Santa Claus, or they booed Santa Claus, or whatever the hell those savages did. Anyway, guys. Wow.
Hey, can I agree that I don't want Carson Wentz, but Joey, you're crazy if you're trying to compare Lamar Jackson and Derek Carr. Like, absolutely insane. There's no way. Did he say Derek Carr or Lamar Jackson is as good as Derek Carr, meaning Derek Carr is better and Lamar Jackson goes up to that level? Because there's absolutely no way.
I don't know if that's necessarily what he meant. I think when you consider his playoff record, the injury history, the guaranteed dollars, maybe it's like you might as well sign Carr than to have to give away all of that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And by the way, I never miss super chats. Anthony Piccarello says, if y'all don't want Jesus Man, aka Derek Carr, to come here, trade up effective tomorrow. Appreciate you.
Can you trade your draft, like trade the draft right now?
Yeah, right now you can. If you came to a deal, or well, you might have to wait till after the league year, March 15th.
Okay,
I'm not entirely sure. There we go.
What do I need to do to it to make this meme slap? Chat, tell me.
Remove the background on the cocaine bear.
And then what's behind? Put the chairs.
Yeah. Well, unless you can find the picture of Robbie Anderson where he's actually sitting next to who did he ask? DJ Moore, I think he was asking who it was. Find that picture and then find a picture of the Jumbotron and put.
I like the Sir Purr in it. Looking at him.
I have a good picture with the cocaine.
I didn't want to use the one where he was in his car doing and he looks like I don't want to make him. I'm not trying to overly make fun of him.
Why not?
But it's perfect right now.
I mean, he deserves it.
What's that bear doing?
Yeah.
That's Cocaine Bear. It's so perfect. How do we is that the shirt? What's that bear doing?
Ooh,
cocaine.
That's a good one.
But it's just a bear doing lines.
Or no, I mean, we don't got to go that far. Like, actually, yeah, and then you don't have to use the word.
Just do a Charmin bear and have him bent over like he's reaching for toilet paper, but it's really
this is what I really need. I really would hope one of our listeners one day is just a graphic designer who will donate a design to us, because it costs so much to get shirts printed and this and that, and to pay for like someone's important time for that, and then the fees for the screen printing, and then 12 people buy the cocaine bear. What's that bear doing? Dude,
I like it. I'd wear it.
Oh, hell yeah. Actually, trademark. Last two calls, and they're both under a minute.
Dope.
Hey, this is Al the Sailor, but Stroud first pick, Bryce Young at 9 if he drops that far. I don't think he will. And Anthony Richardson, he's gonna go in like the top 4 or 5.
Yep, agree. There is, I think Stroud shoots to number 1.
See, my thing is what I'm just so frustrated about with people. I think people just get like ideas in their head about what's going to happen in the draft and start saying it. And I'm not saying anybody's wrong, because we never know. But here's the thing: is like we haven't, like, before the season ended, Bryce Young was definitely over AR-15, because AR-15.
That's what I'm saying. This is
but now all of a sudden,
psychology, bro.
Nothing has changed, and everybody wants AR-15 to jump up to it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, absolutely nothing tells you that anything is different from the end of the season. But all of a sudden, everybody's
profiler.
Yeah.
We need to get an FBI profiler to sit with the GMs and see what's going to happen. Because you're right. That's my point about Bryce Young slipping. Is that like it just never is somebody you're gonna fall in love with somebody because your girl is going as away at grad school and you've been away for 2 months. This other girl, isn't as good as that girl, but she's there.
But she's here.
Last goal for right now.
Hey guys, Carolina Chuck here, Carolina sports guy, aka Chuck from the city. Anyway, it's been a while, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my take on this. I'm gonna say in this draft, bad as everybody wants a quarterback, and I want one too. I think we're sitting at 9, a place that could trade down a few spots, and I really think the gem in this draft is Michael Mayer, the tight end from Notre Dame. I just think he's a day one starter, and it's going to play a valuable role to whether we get a young quarterback, Matt Corral, or get David Carr, or whatever we decide to do. I just think he'd be a valuable acquisition for us to make.
Hey, I like him.
Yeah, I'll say Tony. Tony's not having any of it, I'm sure.
No, don't do
no tight ends in the first round, right, Tony?
Dude, Michael Mayer's a beast, man. He really is a beast.
I know
Tony doesn't want to, but man,
I might bend my take to no tight ends in the top 23 or 4 or 25.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying like
even if you have a Gronkowski or a Kelsey, no tight ends.
I don't think you.
Or an Olsen.
Those guys are all crazy. But you know what? Greg Olsen was, I think, the 12th pick.
Yeah.
He went right ahead of us to the Bears. And the Bears, he wasn't good enough for them. I mean, they traded away. That was like the biggest steal for the Carolina Panthers. But basically, he reached his potential of being a 12th overall pick 3 years in.
But didn't Kelsey and Gronkowski do that too?
I think they're all three. I think Gronkowski was either the last. What did you say, Cody? The last pick of the first round, or the first pick of the second round, or something like that.
Yeah, Gronk was the first pick of the second round.
And Kittle was like a 3. Kelsey was like a 3. You know, I'm not saying that a great tight end
was a 5th, I believe.
Right. Wow. I'm not saying that a wonderful tight end like those guys could not change the dynamic of your team. It's just like, when was the last top 10 pick? I think Tony, like, who is the greatest? Like, if you could pick one tight end in the history of football to be a top 10 pick, it's probably Tony Gonzalez.
I'd take Gronk over Gonzalez, to be honest with you.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's very close. I don't want to talk trash about Gonzalez. He's amazing, but I mean, you got the list. You got what? Shannon Sharp, Rob Gronkowski,
right?
Kelsey,
a little bit
and
before
Tony Gonzalez, and that's pretty much for me my top 4 tight ends ever. Throw Greg Olsen in there for me for
Antonio Gates, bro.
Antonio Gates. Yeah, I forgot about him. He's in there. Yeah, so
he's the first guy that's what all these guys want, is a big basketball player that's going to catch a bunch of touchdowns. But you can get him in the 3rd. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe.
My rule is don't pick them in the top 25.